since last 8 years, and I know you all are learning lectures from last 5 days, and you are all very tired about lectures attending. And this is the last lecture, so I am not taking the long time of yours, and I will convey my lecture by sharing my slide. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay. I will share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Please
Okay,
proceed.
thank you. So my subject for today's lecture is data-driven decisions in public administration. There is a lots of data generated in public administration related to different schemes, different topics, and different departments. And more of the decisions are taken from the data-driven. Means there are data and then analyze it and taking the decisions. So today's topic is data-driven decisions in public administration. Today's agenda for my lecture is what is data-driven decision making, data in public administration at national level and at state level, uh, preferably Maharashtra. Then data-driven decision makings examples at national level, at state level, and the department where I am working, and then the summary. So we all know that what is data. So data is the collection of facts, measurements, observations, or descriptions of things that can be used as a source of information. Data can be presented in variety of ways, including graphs, charts, or tables. And the data is classified as qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative means you cannot measure it, but it is a descriptive type. For example, skin color, eye color, hair texture, etc. And quantitative data, which is measurable, and it provides numerical information, for example, height and weight of a person. Nowadays it is said that data is the new currency, because different uh, agencies uses data as their raw material, and concludes their decisions, like Meta AI, then chat gpt. These are uses data from different sources, and so data is called as a new currency nowadays. So what is data driven decision making? We call it as a DDDM. What is DDDM? It is a structured process that uses facts, metrics, and data to guide strategic decisions that align with your goals, objectives, and initiatives. And the process of data driven decision making involves collection of data. Collection of data has different sources. You can take it primary data by conducting surveys, or other questionnaires, by filling it by questionnaires, or you can take a secondary data. So after collection of data, second step is the analysis of data, which is transforming the raw data into actionable insights. Then making decisions using analyzed data, and then implementing decisions, carry out the action and monitoring outcomes, and last is the evaluation. But before processing all these steps, we have to find out our goal and objective for the data driven decision making. Means we have to first find out our goal or objective, what we searching for from the data. And after fixing the goal and objective, we have to collect the data regarding that goal and objective. So these are the steps where data driven decision making is functioning. And last is the evaluation of implemented decisions, means which decisions are taken from analyzing the data are correct or not is find out by evaluation of the implemented decisions. Means we, if some scheme is running out and we do the data driven decision making about that outcome of that scheme, and if we need some changes in that scheme, then that changes, after that changes, what is the result, uh, we found out it is the evaluation of that scheme. So these are the steps included in the data driven decision making. Then benefits of this data driven decision making is greater transparency, accuracy, informed decisions, we get the informed decisions, and improved outcomes after applying data driven decision making. So data driven decision making is the statistical or scientific term, but we generally use these facts in our day-to-day life also. Means, for example, weather forecasting, shopping decisions, health and fitness tracking, travel planning, social media engagement. These are some examples we are generally doing in our day-to-day life, and it has some process of data driven in our mind. So this term is also used in our day-to-day life. So there are the two basic methods of data collection. First is the census, which includes complete enumeration. We all know about the population census, which is carried out after every 10 years. Then there are other census activities conducted by Government of India, which is agricultural census, conducted after every 5 years. Economic census, uh, which collects information related to all the economic activities carried out all over the India. And this economic census is started in 1977 first, and nowadays 2020 we have completed seventh economic census. This is conducted by Ministry of Statistics and Implementation. Last one is livestock census, which is conducted by Livestock Ministry of Government of India, and this is also conducted after every 5 years. Recently, we have completed 20th livestock census from for all over India. Another way of collection is sampling, which is subset of total population. Sampling has two main types. First is a probability and non-probability. Probability sampling has all the sampling units have some chance to get selected in a sample, and non-probability sampling, there is a we cannot say the fix that every unit has the chance to get selected in the sample. There are different types. Means probability sampling has four types: simple random sampling, clustering, systematic, and stratified sampling. Probability sampling, for example, probability sampling, if you throw a die, there are six possible outcomes: one, two, three, four, five, six, any of the number we can get. So all six numbers has the probability to get selected in a sample. But for non-probability sampling, for example, we have to take a survey for blind students. We have to take the questionnaire from them. So we only select the students which are blind. So normal students are not selected at any time for that sample. So this is the example of non-probability sampling. Means we have fixed our sample units to only blind students, not the all students. Now the next part is public administration, where data is available for free, open source softwares of open source data at national level and at the state level. There are national level data sources. For example, Open Government Data Platform of India. Census of India, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Then state level data sources has open government data platform for states and UTs, Directorate of Economics and Statistics for different states, and different departments of state government have their own restricted databases. Uh, for example, Shalarth for Education Department in Maharashtra. So we will take a review of all these. First is Open Government Data Platform of India. The link is given here. There are lots of subjects and lots of departments have their data sets on this site. I have taken one snapshot of rainfall of by districts. 2019 data is there. We can find out it in CSV format or Excel format as we want. There is small questionnaire we have to fill out for the data, for getting the data. Here is a screenshot. Download purpose we have to find. We have to fill, means what kind of use we are going to do, is commercial or non-commercial. What is the purpose of this data? Is it academic or R&D, business, journalistic, government use, or other? Then your name, your email address, and one image you have to fill, and you can download this data in any format you want. There are different types of
Ma'am,
data sets.
so
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Ma'am, can we also download time series format data as well?
Yes, sir. There are some data sets which are available as a time series format. You can check by this website. There are different data sets for different subjects. So, what data you want, you have to search here. If it is available in the time series format, you can download it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
Sure, ma'am, please.
Second is the census data. Census is having very huge amount of information. Uh, there is censusindia.gov.in is a website where we can find out the census tables for years 1991, 2001, and 2011. Means last three census information is available on the website. And there are some categories where we can shortlist it. Means we can find age wise data for the year 1991, 2001, 2011, area wise, decadal variation in population wise, disability. There are different categories we can find out the data sets. These data sets are available in Excel format, so you can directly download these without any questionnaire. So directly go to this site and there is a data sets available. You can find out it, you can find your category, and you can download it.
हा मग तुमचं हे झालं ना बघून आता मग फ्री आहे फ्री माझ्या राव काय
Next,
करतो तुम्ही
next is the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. There are various surveys done by.
त्याला सांग
Sorry,
ना सोड मला
someone is
जरी
talking.
येतो बघ नाही तर नाही मला काही माहिती
Darshan Kumar, please mute. Organizers,
चूक
please mute.
There are various surveys which are carried out by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and the
नेक्स्ट
survey
एक मिनिट
data sets are available in
तुमचं
on the
नेट ते थोडी
website of
चालतंय का
mosby.gov.in. Here are some shortlisted surveys, means annual surveys of industries, annual survey of unincorporated
रेडी
sectors,
आहेत काय
periodic labor force survey, etc., CPI, then household surveys. This all survey data is anyone talking?
Please turn off your mic. Manish Kumar is talking. Admin can mute.
How to justify each and every point.
Hello.
एवढा नव्हते अजून काही ऍडिशनल पॉईंट सांगतात काय चालू काय तुमचं
ड्राइव
Can
कैसे
you
जा रहा
please
है
mute your mic?
I think it can be removed.
Okay. So we are talking about Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation conducting different surveys all over India throughout the year. Some of the surveys are listed here: annual survey of industries, annual survey of unincorporated sector, periodic labor force survey, then consumer price index, household surveys. Different types of surveys are done by MOSPI every year. So the data collected for these surveys is available in the format of a table, in the format of chart, or you can download in the format of Excel. You can see it here. There are 3 points: view table, view chart, and download. So in these three formats you can find your data. There are different types of data sets available on this site, so anybody can download it from here. There is no questionnaire and no restriction to download this data. Next is availability of data at state level. As we have seen, open government data platform for India, same platform is for states and UTs. Means if you filter it by states and UTs, then you get the state-wise or UT-wise data. Here is a screenshot where Haryana has 7,784 data sets and 19 catalogs. Similar to this, we can find out the data sets for every state, open source data sets at this site. Same thing has to done. You have to find the questionnaire, why you need this data, what is your purpose to download this data, and which format you want to download this data, by filling up your mobile number and your email ID. So open government data platform needs all this information. Other sites doesn't need the information filled out. You can directly download this data. uh, Another is state level availability of data is Directorate of Economics and Statistics, which is my parent department where I am working. DES is a principal statistical organization of state government and is declared as a nodal agency for all statistical activities in the state. The directorate also acts as a liaison between the state government and the central government on all statistical matters. It has publications like Economic Survey of Maharashtra, District Socio-Economic Abstract, Monthly Consumer Price Index for the base year 2003, CPI for important sectors, selected indicators for districts in Maharashtra and states in India. There are many other publications. You can find out it on the website of Directorate of Economics and Statistics. And this is the similar department working in all states. And you can find out data sets of that state from corresponding website. So here is the basics of data and its availability on the website, open source softwares and all. So we will go through the next session, which is data driven decisions, which is the main subject of today's lecture. So data driven decisions in at national level, we first see. We will go through scheme related. So there is a scheme which is called as a Integrated Child Development Services, which we called as a ICDS. And there are three steps where we follow, generally followed by uh, government, which are data, its sources, then analysis and decision. So Integrated Child Development Services is the scheme uh, which is run by Women and Child Development Department, Government of India, and similar to Government of Maharashtra. So, what is data they have used to start this scheme is the Millennium Development Goals India Country Report 2011, which has data of percentage of underweight children, severely underweight children, infant mortality rate, child mortality rate, and these all has to be minimized by providing them some health facilities which they didn't get at right now at the time of before starting the scheme. So Anganwadi centers, we call it as AWCs, are the main part to provide basic facilities, means nutritional intake and health care, which is for uh, for children 0 to 6 year, then pregnant women and lactating women. So, what analysis they have done that existing AWCs, means Anganwadi centers, lack basic infrastructure like clean drinking water, hygienic toilets, and separate kitchen, and need to build more AWCs with all this basic infrastructure is highly needed. And then the need to provide nutritional intake to children and women, and for all these has to be carried out with the fundings which are more needed to achieve these targets. So decision is taken as one Anganwadi center for 400 to 800 population all over the India, and every Anganwadi center has one Anganwadi worker per AWC. So there is a Poshan Abhiyan started to reduce this stunting, undernutrition, anemia among children, women, and adolescent girls, and reduce the low birth weight. So this is the one example where data-driven decision is taken to start the Poshan Abhiyan scheme under Integrated Child Development Services. Second is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, PMGSY. There are three steps again: data, analysis, and decision. Data used for this yojana is district rural roads plan. Every district has their road plans for 20 years, and it includes all the roads uh, that are present and should be covered in in future 20 years. So district rural road plan and the core network. Core network means the roads that should be connected to the existing roads with the help of any fundings or any agency. So these are the data sets used for basics of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. And what analysis they have done, that they have do the identification of habitations where all weather roads are not available. Means there are some habitations where roads are available, but in rainy season the roads are closed, and habitation is not having any contact with the other locality. So what is the main purpose is to provide all weather roads connectivity to the unconnected habitations in the rural areas with the population of 500% and above. This is the decision they have taken, and uh, criteria is that to provide all weather roads for all habitations having population of 500% and above. Habitations includes either it is a village or any group of houses where the road where the population is 500% and above, and road availability is not there. So to provide these road connectivity to all rural parts of India is the main purpose, and the decision is taken to start the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Next is the Skill India Mission. Here the data used for Skill India Mission is public labor force surveys carried out by NSSO, then consumer pyramid household survey, which is carried out by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, and the survey which takes this data is conducted January to April 2018. So from these surveys, what they analyzed is there is a disconnect between demand and supply of skilled manpower, and some skills are required to some schemes have more demand and has less supply, so need to start short-term and long-term courses with subsidized rates or free of cost. So the decision is taken as to start the Skill India Mission, and some courses are started at free, some with paid facilities. In Skill India Mission, there are 36 schemes from 22 ministries. Then it also provides industry internship program. Some of the schemes like yoga instructor, wooden toy maker, wireless technician. Then some schemes are related to banking, agricultural, automotive, and there are some courses with free of cost, or some has to pay some fees. Then these are other examples like Swachh Bharat Mission. Swachh Bharat Mission uses data analytics to monitor sanitation facilities and hygiene practice across the states. Surveys and mobile apps collect data on toilet construction and uses. Data helps to evaluate the program's impact and guide future interventions. Say, another scheme is National Health Mission. It uses the all data from health surveys, and it is used to allocate resources and planning targeted health interventions such as immunization drives. Another example is Smart Cities Mission. Cities selected under this mission, such as Pune and Ahmedabad, use the data analytics to manage urban infrastructure. They analyze data on traffic patterns, waste management, and energy consumption to make informed decisions about urban planning and service delivery. Another example that we all know is the Aadhaar and direct benefit transfers. The Aadhaar system provides a unique identification number to residents, linking them to various government services. This data enables direct benefits transfers, ensuring that subsidies and welfare benefits reach intended beneficiaries, minimizing frauds and leakages. So these all data sets are available at national. These all decisions of data driven decision making are taken at national level. So now we see some examples at Maharashtra state. First is related to all the Punekars, which is Pune Metro. Pune Metro has uses the data of DMRC, Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, has done one survey about you need of metro at Pune in 2011. So they taken into account the population, number of vehicles on roads, and number of public facilities which are available like PMPML, and what is the travel time for average travel time for the citizen using public transport. So the analysis points are there is a lots of increase in population from 2011 to uh, starting of the metro, and average travel time by public transport is 100 minutes per day, and this time should be minimized by constructing a metro line on the heavy traffic routes. So there is a need to start a metro. So say they identified the heavy traffic routes, and then the work is started, and result is there we have seen in the Pune city. Next is the Maharashtra State Rural Livelihood Mission. This mission is for rural below poverty line families to increase their economic upbringing, economic empowerment of that families. There is a old scheme which is called as Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, is started in few years ago. For various evaluation survey reports are carried out for the Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, and it is not that much successful to bring the empowerment of the families below poverty line. So the data is Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, its evaluation. Then there is a survey in 2002 which calculates the number of families below poverty line. So below poverty line survey 2002, there are 45 lakhs of families below poverty line in Maharashtra. So need of empowerment of families below poverty line, need to develop a system which will be run by the BPL peoples for empowerment of BPL peoples. So the decision is taken as decision to start MSRLM, means Maharashtra State Rural Livelihood Mission, which includes to set up self-help groups of peoples of BPL. Apart from their savings, SHGs can take economic support from financial institutions, and government also provides some subsidies for that self-help groups to start some small businesses or to start some activities which gives economic support to that families. This is the MSRLM scheme, which is successfully running in Maharashtra. Then third example is Maharashtra Land Records Information System. Maharashtra Land Records Information System digitizes land records, making data accessible for farmers and policymakers. This system helps in land dispute resolution and informed decision making regarding agricultural policies. And then agriculture schemes and data analytics. The Maharashtra government uses data on weather patterns, soil health, and crop yields to design and implement targeted agricultural schemes. This data-driven approach supports farmers in making informed decisions about crop selection and resource management. Another example is crop cutting survey. Crop cutting survey is carried out for Kharif season and for Rabi season to predict the yield of crops for that season. In this crop cutting survey, 1 meter by 1 meter plot is selected from the farmer's land, and the yield of that plot is taken as a sample to predict the yield of all or the yield of the plot. This is crop cutting survey, and this is carried out in both seasons, Kharif and Rabi, in all districts of Maharashtra. Then Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the Maharashtra government uses data to identify areas in need of affordable housing. By analyzing demographic and socio-economic data, it prioritizes projects that addresses housing shortages. Another example is COVID-19 situation. In COVID-19 pandemic, the live data is collected from all hospitals related to bed availability, oxygen bed availability, medicines availability. On the basis of collected data, government declares information about vacant beds and available medicines on the dashboard. It helps the patients and their relatives to get the easy information. Then traffic management system. In urban areas like Mumbai, data from traffic sensors and GPS enabled vehicles is analyzed to optimize traffic flow. This data driven approach helps to reduce congestion and improve transportation infrastructure. Then e-office. E-office is a system for workflow and to monitor the actions taken on received mails and public letters. This e-office is a software used in all government offices. There is a timeline defined for every work to proceed and take actions. E-office gives clear idea about any letter or action taken by any staff member on specific letter in a government office. Another example is a budget. State Finance Department collects all the data about previous year expenditure and required budget, accordingly plan for the next year for state and districts. So these are Maharashtra state examples. Now we will go through the DES Maharashtra where I am working, and what are the data driven decisions taken in my department. There are some examples. First, what is the data collection process we follow is pictured here. Means we done some surveys at the ground level, at village level, at city level. These surveys are collected by data contractual manpower, data collectors, or investigators of office staff. They collect the information at ground level, and at district level the data is entered in the software developed by DES at district level. And and the data collected from all the districts all over the Maharashtra is combined at state level, and analysis of data and publication of results is done at a state level office, DES Maharashtra, at Mumbai, headquartered at Mumbai. So these are some surveys by DES of Maharashtra, which includes annual survey of industries, then economic census, employees master database survey, national sample survey, evaluation surveys, state domestic product, district domestic product related surveys, evaluation surveys of various schemes, 4 to 5 schemes per year. Then there is one example of district annual plan. Every year, each district planning committee collects the information about needs and funding required for necessary works from various departments like health, education, skill development, public works division, forest, etc. From this information, district planning committee under the chairmanship of guardian minister makes an annual plan for the next economic year. This plan is submitted to the committee under the chairmanship of state finance minister, and then the plan is sanctioned after discussions on it. The plan is implemented throughout the next year. Second is the annual survey of industries.
Ma'am, I think you're not audible for me.
Some connection issues are there. Just give us 2 minutes.
Hello, madam.
Am I audible and visible of my screen?
Yes, yes, your screen is visible, and you are also audible.
Okay, okay. Sorry for the interruption. There is some problem with that PDF, so I started the PPT. So there are various, we are on this slide that various departments of Maharashtra runs various welfare schemes. For example, Swachh Bharat Mission is a scheme implemented by Water and Sanitation Department, and that department requested to Planning Department to do the evaluation survey of that scheme. So recently, in a few months ago, we have done the field work for this Swachh Bharat Mission evaluation survey. Like this, there are many surveys we have done for generally 4 to 5 schemes per year for the evaluation purpose. Another example is consumer price index. The consumer price index that measures monthly changes in prices of the goods and accessories. There is an item basket for rural and urban areas, which is divided into 5 groups as a food, pan, supari, light and fuel, clothing, and footwear, and miscellaneous. There is a list of items under all these 5 groups, and all these prices are collected every week from the selected markets from every district. All this data set is collected at the district level, and current for this CPI, there is a current series has base year 2003. These market prices of all the items from the item basket collected per week from 78 urban and 68 rural centers all over the Maharashtra. All this data collected and compiled at DES Maharashtra State Office, Mumbai. And this data calculates consumer price index every month, and this published on the official website of the DES Maharashtra. Latest published CPI is for the month of November 2024. It is available at the website, and we can see it also. Next is the National Sample Survey. National Sample Survey is carried out at the national level, and same is carried out at the state level with the sample size allocated for the state. The government of Maharashtra participates in multi-purpose socio-economic sample surveys conducted by Government of India under National Sample Survey to collect the information on important selected subjects on a matching sample basis. The purpose of this participation is to make available region or district level estimates on various aspects of socio-economic conditions of the state more accurately by pulling the central and state sample data. For this data, for this data is collected and analyzed for a sample selected independently for the state.
Ma'am, sorry to
Recently,
interrupt.
yes.
Ma'am, is it this PPT slides and these websites, the information or URLs will be shared, no, ma'am, after this session?
Yeah. I will share it with all of you, and I will share so which are the publications. I have PDF copies. I will share it with
Yes,
you.
ma'am. And the websites you are just mentioning, all those will be also available there, no, ma'am?
Yes. All this has hyperlink. You can use PPT to open it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. So summary of the today's lecture is a huge amount of public data generated through the periodic surveys, and government uses DDMM approach for new policy introduction and evaluation of existing policies. Decisions have significant impact on the public life.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt once again. Ma'am, could you please elaborate something on what is big data, ma'am? What is big data actually?
Big data in government, we can call census
Ma'am,
data as a big data. There is a
okay,
huge
ma'am.
amount of data collected in the census, If we go through the census questionnaire, there are lots of questions which are asked for the family, means number, family members, their age, their education, then health facilities available at the ground level,
Yes, ma'am.
sanitation facilities available, then water sources which are nearby. Lots of information is collected in the census data, and there is a huge data collected at census. But all this data is not publicly available. You can get the figures of all these points. You cannot get the listing of the people and households. You can get
Yes.
the data related to all these aspects.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
Thanks for the information.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, for our students, can you suggest some projects or activities wherein students can collect this open source data from government websites, as you mentioned, and do some studies? Can you suggest?
Which students you
It can be like engineering or management.
okay?
Let us say weather forecast. How accurate is it? And can you throw some light on that, madam?
You can find out the data sets of rainfall and weather on the open source open government data website, and you can do the forecasting analysis for that, and you can use that data, but I have to see the available data sets which you can use. i
Sure.
will
Thank you.
I will tell you after the
Yeah.
discussion.
Thank you, thank you. And are there any efforts of modernization, use of technologies in this data processing by Government of India and Government of state governments?
Recently, government has taken the approach to do the all offices paperless. So e-office is one of the initiative taken by all the government offices, that everyone should go to e-office software and do all their activities paperlessly. This is the beginning of this innovation in government offices.
Okay,
Government is slowly moving to the digitalization.
okay. So the data is more or less accurate, you say, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Good evening. Can I stop
Uh,
sharing?
wha- yes, ma'am. One of my group is doing project in they wanted to create one agricultural chatbot for farmers,
Yes.
wherein they want farmers to know what all different schemes government are starting or governments has already started for farmers. So
Okay.
can you suggest me where can I find such data if you have any idea?
There is a department, district agricultural office at every district places, or you can find the taluka agricultural office at taluka places also. You can get all the information, all the schemes implemented for the farmers from that office.
Okay. So they wanted to build a chatbot wherein the farmers can ask in natural language ki which scheme is there for certain situation and the chatbot will answer
Okay.
like
So
that.
you will get all the details at district office or taluka office, or there are some what we call it as a काय म्हणतात? कृषी मित्र some there are some peoples in all villages which who can help all the farmers for
Okay.
scheme implementation related queries. So they also have all the information regarding which scheme and who is applicable for that.
Okay. Thank you, madam. And ये जो this data will be there in English or in the regional language?
Which data you are asking for?
I'm asking the scheme ka data. Will it be
Uh,
there in English or it will be there in regional languages?
regional language.
It will be there in regional language.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any more questions? Okay, so should I conclude this session?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Saili madam, for this wonderful session. And you discussed about DDM, data-driven decision-making scheme that our government uses. From farming to meteorological thing. Thank you for informative session, and surely the people will use all your information in their PhD or student project work. Huh? We will share all the information shared by Saili Devasthali madam with you people. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Devani
It was a nice session.
Thank you.
Saile madam, thank you very much
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
for honoring our request and joining us despite your busy schedule. We were very much aware that most of the government decisions are data driven, they are statistical, driven by statistics. But today we got it in a convincing manner because of the case studies taken by you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this lecture. I hope this lecture gives some inputs for all the attendees.
Indeed, indeed. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well,
Thank you,
there is
madam.
an announcement for the participants about the test. The test time we have already told you, that is 6:30 p.m. Now there has been a glitch because of which attendance of some of the participants have not been updated. So at 6:30 we will be also floating a Google form link. In case your attendance is not visible and hence your test link is not active, please give the test using Google form.